How does that position us for later this month's NVIDIA event? Since we own NVIDIA, it's a challenging one. Together with Apple and Meta, it's one of our more prominent positions. We have those three, but I believe that will rely on how that print is set up. There is an issue if experts are broadly optimistic and believe that, with all of this spending, the numbers are up and to the right forever. Therefore, a portion of this will concern their increasing rationality. The good news is that some analysts have pushed out statistics in recent days due to delays in their newest processor, the Blackwell. When I hear a company say, well, the biggest risk is under-investigated, it was announced in the first half of 2022 before we heard of generative AI and ChatGPT. Investors, of course, don't want to ruin a good story, so Some are considering what we've seen with some of the hyperscalers and what they've discussed. Although Meta's stock has performed well with generative AI, it was very obvious that large corporations like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft go through periods of digestion. They're spending a lot of money, but the revenues aren't always there. As a result, all the forward figures are declining, and eventually, a portion of this expenditure must be digested. What do you think about Alphabet in particular, then? The new Pixel 9 phones were unveiled at this Google event, along with the company's first AI-powered Android update. Although I am aware that hardware is not usually what drives Alphabet's stock, artificial intelligence played a significant role in today's messaging and talking points. Morgan, you must ask yourself this straightforward question. Do you believe that Google's more than 90% search market dominance will be impacted by all of the money being spent on AI by companies like Microsoft and OpenAI? If your response is in the affirmative, then Google is having problems in the long run. Additionally, I found it concerning that while Meta was doing quite well, they were having trouble with their U2 company. To be really honest, I don't like Google, or short for that matter. And from a stock perspective, I prefer Meta over Google because Meta uses AI to suggest movies that you should watch, and then uses AI to display appealing advertisements. They had no issues at all. In that regard, I believe that pair to be fairly nice. Does it make sense to invest in an additional 493 stocks in the S&P 500 in light of the entire discussion we are having? Can we boldly state that the Magnificent Seven's growth is slowing and that diversification is necessary? Indeed, one of the things we did after receiving that great sell-off on Monday of last week was to start working on a number of other projects that week. We actually purchased names in the financial services industry. Consumer basic stocks make up our basket. Our telecom services company has names that stand to gain if rates begin to drop in a number of ways. Additionally, since the end of 2022, when we learned about OpenAI, ChatGPT, and other similar technologies, Magnificent Seven has been dominating the news cycle, while the other 493 stocks have been largely forgotten about. However, I would be shocked if there weren't 3 rate reductions before the year ended. Some stock kinds will gain from that. What's causing such pricing reductions? The economy is slowing down, so you have to address it. Whether it's from online travel agencies, hotels, airlines, or even a home improvement company this morning, we keep hearing about consumers slowing down. This is what you're hearing everywhere, so you want to consider where rate reduction can be somewhat advantageous. You're quite correct. In my opinion, take a look at the other 493. Yes, acquire your Nvidia keychain quickly for less than $10. We are offering a huge discount exclusively to the first 100 orders. As investors continue to be concerned about the return on investment for AI spending, Nvidia's shares are down about 6%. According to our trade with CNBC contributor Boris Schlossberg, the stock is roughly 30% lower than its peak. He is BK Asset Management's managing director of foreign exchange strategy. Boris, so Nvidia may suffer if customers downplay the necessity of making a significant investment in AI. I'm not sure what's going on with the Blackwell chips and all that, but the price action alone is getting everyone's attention. Here, what are you doing with the stock? I believe it's similar to PTSD for all of us who have survived doom here. Is this another Cisco? Not in my opinion. But I still believe AI has a lot of potential, and Nvidia will undoubtedly gain the most from it. Indeed, there is still a lot of demand for the Blackwell chips, and they plan to begin shipping them in the third quarter. It's certainly one of the more intriguing chances at the moment, in my opinion, considering all of the upheaval they've Therefore, if I were to invest in Nvidia at this time, I would just sell puts and wait for the stock to reach me because I believe it would still be a very, very strong bet in the long run. The Magnificent Seven's three worst performing companies, Nvidia, Tesla, and Amazon, have all had declines of 11 to 13% during the past three trading sessions. Since the commencement of the most recent selling fight last Thursday, only Meta has been positive. Come learn what he's observing in the tech industry. Ray Wang, Principal Analyst with Constellation Research. Once more, good morning. Nice to see you. On the downside, Ray, would you purchase everything or nothing? In order to determine whether we were truly in full panic mode or whether we would return, I was going to wait to see what was happening with a few more data points. And it was encouraging to see in the morning that, we had a reversal and that people were genuinely waking up and realizing that, one piece of data wouldn't cause everyone to overcorrect. However, this is a good moment to investigate this. And I believe that some stocks are genuinely doing well in the AI space, with Nvidia, of course, continuing to be present. We will have to wait until August 28th to find out how they plan to, what their Q3 forecasts will be. More significantly, though, they will still be among the winners. You brought up Amazon. In the long run, that one will be interesting to monitor because I would be concerned about Amazon if the retail industry did decline and consumer spending did decline. However, we are witnessing some intriguing things. Uber, for instance, stated yesterday that better pricing matching, better ride batching, and AI-driven advancements have actually increased their capacity to become more profitable. People are making money using AI. Without a doubt, Meta has made significant progress with their open models, which enable them to open source their LLM, while also obtaining additional data to enhance their precision targeting for ad growth and exponential efficiency. In that sense, Meta is a fantastic stock, and Nvidia is undoubtedly an excellent one based on what you said. So, Ray, do you simply dismiss it when we have times like these where, if it's based on a carry trade or currency fluctuations? Do you worry about the fact that, although the multiple is somewhat wealthy, everything could be marked down based on events in the macro world, or do you just concentrate on what you know about each company separately? How is it done? What are you searching for? Do you only seek for chances to engage in your favorite activities? Right now, the main focus is on possibilities to invest in the AI revolution, and you need to determine which businesses would benefit from this technology. As a basic illustration, Adobe is profiting from the sale of AI software. We'll watch Microsoft's performance in terms of the apps they sell. Oracle has performed admirably in that regard. One business that has experience with AI is Palantir. Since C3 has been in the market, we want to find out who has increased their revenue the most. The macro is a larger problem, but it always boils back to the forecast of what is out there, even when it is individual equities. Indeed, the concept of debt that was previously articulated is accurate. China is having a lot of problems, and that's a market. They're going to have a hard time because of the debt bubble and slower population growth. In fact, they will resemble Japan in 20 years, and Japan was destroyed due to MMT's failure. Therefore, a U.S. jobs figure is only one piece of information and won't necessarily cause the U.S. market to collapse, but yesterday's tone was rather negative. Get your Nvidia keychain quickly for less than $10. We are offering a huge discount exclusively to the first 100 orders. I suppose we're looking at things equally, but I have to admit that when I see Nvidia moving up underneath it, David, I think they're just unable to escape it. You are unable to keep up. What do you think about the stock's notable recovery over the last, let's say, 4 sessions? All right, so I believe that a publication published an article over the weekend. I won't name the publication that claimed that the hyperscalers and its giants would be pushed back if their main product, Blackwell, was released too late. As I mentioned the day the article was out, I have not been able to confirm a single word of it. Many people replied, or those who were in favor of it said right away that it wasn't a demand issue. In any case, you simply sell more H100s at a huge profit, even if Blackwell is delayed. Do you believe that the stock was impacted by that? Indeed, I do indeed.